Hello everybody and welcome back. Today's video is a continuation slash correction for my previous video on Operation Shoulder, that patch notes. So when I was doing it, we went over like the patch notes and the update to the Arabian formable, how it changed. And when we did this, I looked at the Greater Indonesia, and if you didn't do I didn't actually form the formable, I was reading its description and it added additional cores for the Cocos Islands here and for Christmas Island here, and then it already had a core for Portuguese Timor. So if we just transfer these all over, you can see that Indonesia has cores on all of that. If we let it play, we'll form it and we lose all the resistance. So as you see, it's all core states. None of it has resistance or anything. What I didn't know, because I was in my video, I was very disappointed with the addition of just these two little islands. I didn't even really understand the point. Well, I was going through and doing something for a different video, just making all the formable nations in the world and trying to see how much territory they all cover and stuff. I don't know what I'll do with that video yet, but I was just making a preset save for that, because I like having different saves like that to show off. And I made the Confederacy. Well, lo and behold, I was completely wrong. There's a lot more they did. So we see here the integration of Papua, which allows you, if you control the states of Papua and Kaiser Wilhelm's land, which I talked about being integrated in, you can get cores on that. So there you go. Now you have cores on them. Then you have the Northern Malayas, which is this state here in the Kingdom of Siam. So you transfer that over, and you get a core on that. And then the Philippines is now coreable. So you can actually core the entire Philippines, which is awesome. This is a massive improvement to this formable. And I completely dropped the ball and didn't notice that this was actually a whole lot better. Like, this is actually really great. Like, we have a core population of 81. I believe that updated. Let's see if it gives it a second, see if it updates. Yeah, 81.31 million. Like, there's 2 million. Look, like, you get core on 67. Like, it's a base 40, but then, like, with infrastructure of 67 rubber. Like, this is awesome. Like, you don't really get much resources out of what's it called, the Philippines. I mean, you already have a lot of rubber, but like 67 is nothing to scuff at for core. Plus, like I said, it has 2 million manpower in it. Then you have all of the Philippines, which is pretty populated. Yeah, there's 1.5 million there. That doesn't really have much. 3.5 million, 2 million, 1.29 million. Like, that's a lot. Granted, you have to go to war with the U.S. to get this. But, like, playing as a fascist country, like, you could like, in joining Japan, that way you don't get invaded. Like, you play as British Malaya, you do the Civil War. You go and take Dutch East Indies off, like, you join Germany for a bit to kill the Netherlands. So you control that. Then you can go to war with Siam before they join the Japanese faction. Get this core here, and you can also either make a puppet or just take the rest of this. And then, which I would advise probably puppeting, because then you can just, like, make just forts here and just hunker down here to deal with the allies here. Then you can, whoa, don't know what did that. You can invade the rest. When you invade the rest of the island of Papua, you get more cores, and then you help the Japanese take the Philippines, and you can core that. This is awesome. I actually can't believe I completely fumbled that, but I guess that makes sense. Like, this actually feels like a good formula now. Like, I'm actually quite happy with it. Actually, I want to check something real quick. Alright, so I did just check, and sadly, Papua New Guinea doesn't get access to it, and the Philippines also do not get access to it. It's still just a Dutch East Indies and a British Malaya. British Malaya formable. I wanted to check that if these were added. Let's actually just check Siam. I didn't think so. Yep. So, like, it is still only accessible to these two countries, but I still feel like this is a lot better. And this makes this is the second formable in this region that's actually been updated, like, recently. So, a few patches ago, they added for the Siberia, the integration of Manchuria. And now with Indonesia, the greater Indonesia being able to core some more stuff around here, it really does feel like the next one is going to be on this region. And I feel like they're just setting some groundwork here, just improve stuff in the area. So, because usually when a new DLC comes out, people play stuff in that region. So like with Graveyard of Empires, like it's made me want to play, like there's an Assyria playthrough I want to do. I kind of want to do, like now with the Saudi Arabia, where you can like do Arabia with only the southern peninsula. Kind of want to do a playthrough of that. Like even stuff that's not tied to the new focus trees kind of makes me want to try out some of this stuff. I feel like this is some stuff for that, where like they're adding content to nations around. That way, when the next DLC drops, probably at the end of the year, this region feels a lot more flushed out, even including the nations that aren't being played. It could just be that they randomly just decided to pick this one, but it feels like they picked two. Arabia, which we all wanted, like that was a big thing on the DLC. Would have really liked it to be day one. I feel like people would have been a lot happier with the DLC if that was a day one feature of the Arabia tiered formable. But it's here now, a month late, but still. I feel like this is kind of a thing that it shows their headspace. Like these are two random formables that people weren't like. Siberia has a achievement with it, and it's pretty fun. Like it gives Tanatu a lot of playthrough. So I like it. When I played it back in the while ago, I actually probably should do it with an update on this. That would be fun. But it feels very coincidental that these two are the ones that they worked on instead of like other ones. Like you understand what I'm saying? Like they could have done anything else. They could have kept expanding on like the South American ones to add more content to this, because like this is a DLC people weren't super happy with either. So like they also added like the like you saw with them adding the Antilles Confederation, because people weren't happy that wasn't a thing. Like that was, I think, an outgrowth of that they wanted to have more content in this region, even if you're not playing those nations. That's why they added like I think that's why they added the Peru-Bolivian Confederation. They added the update to the Central American, where you can integrate Panama and Yucatan. And I feel like that's why with Gotterdammerung, that was just a random formable they added. I think it was to add more stuff to this region. Oh, they also added the Guyanas and Trial of Allegiance. Forgot about that. I feel like that's the reason and so is Hispaniola. I feel like that was the reason they threw the Antilles Confederation into Gotterdammerung, was because people weren't quite super happy with South America, and adding another formable so you have more nations you could actually play. That made Cuba feel pretty good, because like Cuba's better than Haiti and Dominican if you're going to do the Antilles. It made any of the Central American nations feel stronger. You got the Peru-Bolivian Confederation, where if you play as Peru, you can do that, and Gran Colombia felt pretty strong. So with all of that together, this region feels a lot stronger. So I think that's one of the reasons they added it, because of the complaints. So I feel like this is just preempting that to get more content in this region before the DLC drops. So then there's just more stuff for them to do. But anyway, that should wrap it up for here. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.